Hey guys, Drifter here. I just finished another play session of Black Ops 6, and I think I have a real love-hate relationship with this game. What you're going to see today gameplay-wise is me starting out by showing myself struggle to clear the satellite in Scud so that I can take a nice picture for the thumbnail, and then swapping to a more fun shotgun game without such struggles where the gameplay should be a little bit more exciting. And so far, I have a real love-hate relationship with Black Ops 6, and I think the rest of the COD community is experiencing the exact same thing. If you look at what's going on Twitter or Reddit or even YouTube comments, you'll see a lot of very polarized responses to Black Ops 6. Some people are actually really happy about the fast, twitchy changes that have been made to the game and all the innovations, and some people are just kind of okay with multiplayer but maybe excited for campaign or zombies, and then an equally large group of people are very upset by this degree of change in Call of Duty. It actually reminds me a lot of reading the Rotten Tomato scores and comments on a movie that the audience loves but the critics hate. And the crazy thing is that this is literally just an opinion, right? Both groups can be right. You can be justified in enjoying the game and you can be justified in hating it. And I feel that you can be justified in having mixed feelings like I have. So let's start off with the love section. We just have two sections today, love and hate. Love's going to be shorter. We have a little bit more hate. I think that attracts more attention. In the love section, I want to talk about the new omnimovement system that's been the focus of my videos for a long time. When the new omnimovement works in your favor, it feels fantastic. It gives me that general sense of flying through the map at turbo speed, just like I did in Black Ops 3 or Titanfall. It's really fun. It's really rewarding. It feels like the game has a genuine flow to it, like you're liquid and you're just sliding and jumping and splashing around the map while taking out enemies. And I get the same sense of joy with the unrestricted movement and sprinting in any direction. For me, it feels really good. It feels like I've activated a power-up and I'm getting stronger here. And this new movement system leads to some very big plays, some very fun cinematic moments. You can, dive sideways while shooting akimbo pistols through the glass, kill a person, land in the pool, come up, fight under the water, all sorts of wild and crazy stuff. And it also presents some new novel challenges for play and counterplay of the new movement system. I personally enjoy novelty, and I also enjoy counterplay, so those things are present, and I enjoy being challenged. Throughout most of the game reviews that you've seen on this channel, I've been very in favor of rewarding or praising innovation. I like being challenged, not just in a game. I like being challenged with media, with movies, with being offended, with being pushed out of my comfort zone a little bit, right? And for the last decade or so, I've been the guy who's constantly saying that Call of Duty should innovate. COD needs to change this. COD needs a huge overhaul. COD needs to take 2 years off to rework their engine and just drop a banger on us. They need to do something really fun. And my favorite Call of Duty games have been ones with advanced movement. I loved Black Ops 3. Absolutely my favorite COD game of all time. I actually have a video here on the channel talking about that. I enjoy Advanced Warfare. I enjoyed parts of Infinite Warfare, but not the overall package. I liked Titanfall. I liked the Finals. I liked Hyperscape. I love all these really wild, bouncy games. I also really love the lobby music in Black Ops 2. I don't think I can play it here. I think it's copyrighted to the point where I'll get a copyright strike. But the lobby music in Black Ops 6 is easily the best it has been since Black Ops 2. I don't know who Treyarch hired to compose the music, but they need a raise. Absolutely top tier job. And when it comes to more, we're moving back to features here, I enjoy the wide variety of small features that they've added into the game, such as swap to knife. By default, you always have a knife, and then you can run really fast. The wide variety of weapons and different ways to approach combat. I actually like taking somebody as a body shield. Don't like being taken, but that's kind of how those things go. And having a whole emote tree instead of a single button makes a lot of sense. I kind of wish I had an easy inspect button, but I'm actually on board with the idea of an emote and inspect tree. The new mantle assist, crouch assist, and sprint assist are all working very well for me. You saw me playing with those on the stream. I'm getting more comfortable with them. I actually don't like the regular sort of movement style anymore. I've enjoyed, now I have the whatever special edition pre-order, so I have some of these pre-made guns, but I was given useful weapons off the rip. I've complained recently about grinding through COD and a grind wall, and how with me and Uwu Boo Boo, Sad Hands, whatever, I can't play 15 hours to unlock stuff. So it's been really nice that Black Ops 6 has offered me things that are good and useful right off the rip, so I don't have to worry as much about grinding. And I can already tell the game is going to have an incredible grind wall. Leveling in the beta to me was honestly kind of slow, but at least I've got usable stuff to start with. And there are many parts of Black Ops 6 that would be amazing if maybe they were in a different game, which is where we move into the hate section. We'll be revisiting some topics here because when the movement isn't working out for you, it can be very, very frustrating. It's also frustrating to get outplayed by a guy who feels like he has rocket skates on his feet. Maybe I'm just greedy and selfish, but I want to be the one that flies. I don't want to have to be fighting everybody else flying all over the map. And sometimes it just feels like it's too much for me. Now, I know that I'm young and that I look beautiful, and I always present. Actually, the lighting here is a little rough. I look a little rashy today. But I'm pushing 40, okay? I'm pushing 40. I literally game from a bed. I have gimped hands. I have a lot of negatives going on. So keeping up with the speed and intensity of Black Ops 6 is not easy. I actually saw a clip where Swag got completely clowned on, and he was like, bro, I'm 28. I can't be dealing with this. I was like, oh, no, I'm old. But there's probably a lot of other gamers in the same boat. A lot of my friends of my age don't really like twitchy games anymore. They're moving away from them. They like more tactical shooters, slower stuff. And some people just don't have the time and effort to put into mastering something so complex. And I'll just say that sometimes I want a chill game instead of one that I know is going to be cranked. And I'm not even talking about skill-based matchmaking or the engagement-based engagement optimized matchmaking, like weird conspiracy theory thing, but rather, even if you get a pretty easy lobby in Black Ops 6, even if none of that existed, it's a very fast-paced, very busy, very active game. So you just have to put in more effort no matter what you're doing. And I think that Black Ops 6 is a game that is going to force players to learn new tricks and to think about combat differently, which is literally the definition of innovation when it comes to FPS games. The problem is that innovation is something that the Call of Duty community has historically struggled with. And I think a lot of gamers just wanted a more classic COD. There's a lot of hype around the H2M. And even though I liked crank games, I think I was hoping for something easier and more approachable for myself as well. Another aspect of this game that I want to talk about in the hate section doesn't have to do as much with opinions as objective fact, is that Black Ops 6 has some sort of bad optimization problems. And I'm not just talking about on PC, but also on PlayStation 5. So let's start off with file sizes. The base game itself, without anything else from the COD HQ or other add-ons, is 120 gigabytes. If I added the rest of the stuff from COD HQ and then, when the game comes out, Campaign and Zombies, I could easily be in the 250 gigabyte plus range. And if you're playing on console, that's almost your entire hard drive. Even on PC, I had to clear a bunch of other stuff off my solid state drive. I think I had to delete 4 other games to just make room for Call of Duty, and literally no other modern game does this. Even massive, gigantic games like, say, Baldur's Gate 3 have smaller file sizes than this, with even higher quality graphics and no texture streaming and just as many cutscenes and voice lines. There's no game that really competes with Call of Duty, and it makes me start to wonder, I wish I had my tinfoil hat to put on, if maybe there was some sort of conspiracy going on here to monopolize our entire hard drive spaces and prevent us from playing other games. Beyond this, PlayStation 5 also has some weird issues with the 120 Hz and HDR settings turned on. It seems to reset itself, or at least reset its resolution and spaz out roughly every other game, so that when I'm capturing on an Elgato, I can actually see this because the Elgato will kind of spaz out for just a moment and lose signal and then reconnect as the game loads in. I have no clue what's going on there, but I've never seen that happen on console ever. I've never seen the signal get disconnected or disrupted other than being unplugged. That happens a little bit on PC when you swap to full screen from borderless and it sort of readjusts the output on the monitor. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. Beyond this, Black Ops 6 is having frequent crashes, lobby crashes. You have to restart. Sometimes the game won't load in. A lot of people's games are just kind of freezing. On PC, it wasn't super well optimized. It was extremely taxing on my admittedly mediocre rig. I'm going to try to upgrade before the fall and get a better one maybe for this game. The texture streaming thing is just fundamentally not working on Black Ops 6. It's not working right on console. It's not working right on PC. I see it drop and come back, and the characters lose their fidelity and end up looking butt ugly at random times for random reasons. And I'll also add this to the hate section. Has anybody else noticed that the visibility is oddly low for a Treyarch game? The colors are present, and so are the red names over people's heads and stuff. But I feel like there's a lot of dark, shadowy places on the maps that are just very easy to hide in and easy to scan over enemies. I wish they would brighten this up a little bit and not have so many, dark, spooky corners for Dark Corner McDougal's. So that's all for the hate section and the love section. A lot of this just comes down to Call of Duty decided to innovate. Me too, have just been sitting here running our mouth for years. Call of Duty needs to innovate. Call of Duty needs this. Call of Duty needs advanced movement. Call of Duty needs to modernize. Blah blah blah. And it did. It really did that. And it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to love, a lot to hate, a lot to adapt around. My other video is about a learning curve, right? There's an experience curve here too. So I'm trying not to be negative. I'm not trying to crap on the game. I'm not trying to start any sort of weird trends or anything here. But I feel like I've got my plate full, learning the game, getting the gameplay, and sort of evaluating how much I'm going to even be able to play it. So that's kind of how I'm feeling. I wanted to hear your opinions, of course, in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.